I've just gone really, really hot and almost a bit agitated, you know. So you could be, I mean, I wouldn't blame you for feeling like that today, especially if you're in the UK. But I don't know. I feel like I'm picking up on somebody else's energy above anything else. Right, so let's carry on. So we realise that actually it could very well be that we are releasing toxic thought patterns is the correct sort of word I would put to it. I feel like and the reason I say toxic is it's not like you're a toxic person or anything like that. It's more you're being toxic to yourself. You know, it's almost like a bit of self-bullying going on. Maybe that was a bit too strong, but you understand the concept. Let's get 2 more, please. Okay, 1 more. Sorry, I thought that was 5. I can't count today. Oh, okay. Okay, so the first thing, now, if anybody that knows me, any of my loyal followers, right, will know that I don't like taking reversals. Only if needs must, and I do feel like this is a bit of a needs must. And it's the Hanged Man, but essentially he's the right way up. Which, you know, I mean, I think that's quite fitting. So, we've got the World, the 3 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, Temperance, and the 4 of Wands. I love that. Absolutely love that. Right. So, the World being here, and do you know what I find, right? I know, obviously, the 8 of Wands is different, but see this sort of tornado that's sort of going on here, right? Now, I feel like this is quite the confirmation that actually you are completing turbulent. Trying to find, again, the correct way to say it. Leaving behind the most turbulent thought processes or thought patterns that you might have, to be fair, I feel like it's probably one of those things that you've had since being like pretty young, which, you know, when you grow up in a chaotic household or within a chaotic environment, you end up in some instances, our mentality does end up to be quite chaotic. So when you're not even experiencing chaos, there's already chaos going on up here, if you get what I mean. Okay, so 3 of Pentacles and Temperance. Now, obviously the 3 of Pentacles can be about community working together, but it can also be about going back to the drawing board, right? So if you are leaving, you know, parts of yourself that you do not wish to take into the future you, then I do think that it's always a good idea, once you have mastered something, especially mastering release, going back to the drawing board with things. You will look at things from a completely new perspective, which I think is absolutely necessary, especially in business and creativity. Okay, so if you are say you are an artist and you have been doing this for a long time and you're really good at what you do, but in terms of business, it could be that, say, things get stressful, they get on top of you and you start to get overwhelmed. That can then, you know, have a big part to play in the art that you then create. Yeah, which then could have an immediate effect. Say if your artistry was mainly surrounding positivity. Yeah, do you get what I mean? So going back to the drawing board and thinking, actually, sorry, my ear's ringing. What is it that I want to achieve? And with this one very subject, what context can we change? You know, I think change is good. It's always good to put in changes. But when it comes to changing ourselves, we have to have a massive amount of patience, which I do feel like you are learning to have a bit more patience with yourself, which is really nice. But because the Emperor was here, and with the High Priestess, I do think whatever it is that you're trying to do in a more business aspect, I do think that releasing even the way that you think about certain things, or even the way you think about yourself, I feel like that would have massive benefits to your work, no matter what the creativity is, right? I just think that once we start changing and swapping things around, that's when success happens, right? Not that this is about career, but you know, like, just to give a bit of an example. Now, ending it on the Four of Wands, I'm not going to do any more tarot, because to end on this is like that perfect happy ever after, you know? And I do think that everybody rightfully deserves to have that happily ever after. But I feel like, just feeling into your energy, I think that you've been waiting on this a long time. And I feel like you are genuinely reaping the rewards, or will be reaping the rewards of that patience. But there is a very big shine towards creativity with this. Okay? So I would say that your new moon solar eclipse is all about releasing any negative aspects that are having any kind of negative. Oh, my brain's bloody, my mind's going 10 to the dozen with all these different things. That's why I'm struggling to bring a bloody string a sentence together. I feel like you are removing the obstacles that you have placed within yourself. Okay, it's all to do with that cusp before great success, which again, the solar eclipse is going to bring in that success. You know, the veil is very thin. We have to speak positivity, right? I don't care what anyone says, all right? I like to express myself, whether it be positive or negative. But in these, like, especially on days like today, you have to speak positivity, and you have to put out, like I was asking my son, what 3 wishes? If you could have 3 wishes, what would your wishes be? Do you get what I mean? Like, silly things like that. Anyway, the solar eclipse is happening. Everything's starting to go really dark. Anyway, right. So I got my 7 Oracle of 7 energies, okay? So I've got 4 cards come out. The Oracle's gift, clairvoyance, seeing things before they happen, knowing things are going to happen before they happen. It's because you can see a clear path. Oh, you will definitely see a clear path after today. Almost a bit eerie, isn't it? Right, the next one, this was cracked me up. Waking the Lion. That roar that I was seeing, you're going to be on fire next week. I can feel it. There is just going to be it's almost like I can feel like rest, and then it's just, you're just going to come back with a bang. Love stuff like that. Right, a higher view, a higher perspective. You are starting to see. Which is great. And you're starting to see that the universe has got your back, okay? You've got nothing to worry about. I feel like I say that a lot, but you haven't had anything to really worry about, have you? Do you know what I mean? Not that it's been life-altering anyway. Right, and the last one was spirit of gratitude. Always, always, always have gratitude. I couldn't say that enough. I feel like a lot of the blessings and stuff that I do get, I do feel like I do a lot of gratitude work, and I'm always saying thank you. So I do feel like that does bump things up a bit, you know. Is always being grateful for the things that you've got. Those 4 together, I think you are the gift. You are most definitely the gift. Anyway, enjoy your evening, guys. Love you.